Hey everybody, it's me Jill and welcome to Jill Informed. This is the premiere recap of Vanderpump Rules Season 7, Episode 1, A Decent Proposal. I've got the TV on, the show is just about to begin and I'm excited. Gosh, it is so funny. My daughter had tried for so long to get me to watch Vanderpump Rules, and I just wouldn't. I wouldn't do it. Not because I didn't think I would like it, but because I was watching way too much TV at the time, and I didn't want to take on another new show. And honestly, I just kept thinking, I think I'm going to be too old for this. I am clearly not the demographic for Vanderpump Rules. But she just kept telling me, I think you're going to love it, and she was right. So now I'm probably more hooked on it than she is. Those of you that know the show, you know what I'm talking about. There's so much more that goes on than in a typical Housewives season. All right, well, it's about to start, so let's get going. There's like 22 people in this opening shot, and poor Ken is pushed all the way in the back now. Okay, it opens with everybody showing up to work at SUR. James and Raquel are still a couple. James is getting all set up to do See You Next Tuesday. And apparently See You Next Tuesday is still going strong. Oh my God, Jax is making Brittany a turkey sandwich. And Brittany's pulling out this whole cart full of makeup for some reason. Okay, I'm not gonna like this Jax. If he doesn't turn back into the old Jax, I'm sure he will. But this is like a eunuch Jax. He's still very remorseful, and he did resign from SUR. And then he said, I didn't take the dream hockey job, which was in Florida? Yeah, in Florida, I think. It was between the dream job or the dream girl, and I chose the dream girl. And Brittany goes, oh. The only reason I'm even slightly okay with it is because I know it's not going to last. Okay, two things are confusing right now. Why is Brittany wearing rubber gloves? It's almost like she's like a nail technician or something, but she's not. I don't know what's happening there. And two, apparently she has to be at work in a half hour, but she's not looking forward to going there either because it's See You Next Tuesday again, and James started rapping about Jax having another girlfriend. Jax is like, oh, I'm sorry, you've got to deal with that. I think there's going to be more to that story, but we'll see. Oh, God. Okay, so it's SUR. Sandoval tells James, hey, watch it on the freestyling tonight, huh? And he goes, no, and he starts doing the rap, and it was about Jax and Faith. So James is defending it to the confession cam, and he's like, that's my art, man. You think Kanye's gonna apologize? I forgot he's the white Kanye. Okay, so the whole while that James is like going, oh, it was so great, everybody loved it. Tom Sandoval and Ariana are going, yeah, not so much. And Raquel's like, like nobody really knows if they should laugh or not. They're not really laughing, except for James. James thinks it was awesome. Cut back to Brittany at her and Jax's apartment, and she's telling her side of the story. I gotta find out why she's wearing those rubber gloves. She's just talking about how embarrassed she was that James did that. For the record, James did say he was sorry that Brittany was standing right there, but he doesn't really seem that sorry. Okay, she's literally eating the sandwich with the rubber gloves on. What the hell is it? Thank goodness Raquel agrees that James needs to be more sensitive. Okay, Lisa and Ken show up, and Jiggy, and Lala is at the hostess stand, and she said, how are you doing? And then she goes, oh, that's a silly question. I'm sorry, I shouldn't have asked you that. And then Lisa said, and you too. So then Lala says to the confession cam that her dad died 2 months ago. He had a stroke and then he got into a car accident, I guess. Oh, Lisa's brother, her only sibling, and he was only 16 months older than her. Oh my God. He committed suicide. Off to a little bit of a rough start here. Oh God, Sheena is waiting on somebody, and she's got a new little bit of a darker look, I feel. Her hair's really dark and like wavy, and she's teetering on goth almost. Not really, but and she said, Rob and I broke up August 31st, but who's counting? Oh God, it's so Sheena. Okay, I think she may have just made a date with that customer. Come here, see your mama.
What is happening?
Don't lick my mouth.
Coming up.
Okay, so apparently Jax drove Brittany to work and can't leave well enough alone, so he goes like stalking into Sir to find James, and he said, hey man, can I talk to you for a second out in the parking lot? James looks scared. James, come on, I'm working. This is the funniest fight. He won't go outside, so Jax goes, you're gonna make my girlfriend feel miserable? And he goes, I apologize the next day. And he goes, apologies aren't going to work anymore. You're not invited to any of the things that Brittany and I have planned. Any parties, nothing. And I'm thinking James is going to say, who cares? James, that's horrible. James goes, have you ever done something without thinking about it first? And Jax goes, no, you're there, you're up there, you're DJing. I mean, that was very calculated. Do you know what calculating means? And James goes, first of all, calculated is not a big word. Secondly, it wasn't calculated. And Jax is getting real loud. You made Brittany cry. And he's like, shh, you're going to get me fired. Oh, am I going to get you fired? Do you really think I care what happens to you? Okay, now we see Schwartz, and he is meeting with Stassi and her new boyfriend, Beau. I got to tell you, as a fan of the show, I'm going to miss Patrick. Because Patrick was the biggest D-bag ever. Clearly made some of the best television, though. I'm afraid Beau is just going to be nice. Schwartz is going to try to drink less this season. We'll see. Oh, God. So Lisa apologizes to Brittany for James's behavior. And Brittany's like, that's all right. I wasn't even going to bother you with it or anything, but I was like, whew, he made me cry and everything. Oh, poor Brittany. Okay, so Jax shows up to where Stassi and her boyfriend and Schwartz are, and he tells them that he is going to propose to Brittany on Thursday, and they're all excited. She's sleeping on my arm. I'm going to see if I can move the camera to show you. Do you see that? Okay, so Stassi's excited because she's the first girl to know about it. And she's going out with Brittany the next day somewhere, and she's like, oh my God, I hope I can keep the secret. And Jax is like, you better keep the secret. Then Stassi tells him that if this were like 8 months ago, nobody would have been behind it. Nobody thought that you deserved Brittany, but we've really noticed a change in you, Jax. And he's like, oh, thank you very much. But is he really changed? What do you guys think? My guess is not for long. I wonder if he's still seeing his Reiki expert. Katie, Lala, and Kristen walk into a tattoo place, and oh God, you guys, the guy behind the counter has ginormous gauges. I cannot with it. I can't. It just, it creeps me out. I mean, I can deal with maybe like, the size of a dime or something. but this is like the size of a bracelet. Anyway, he says, okay, so you all want piercings? And Lala goes, just our vaginas. And he goes, that's the only thing I won't touch. And she goes, I'm just totally screwing with ya. Oh, well. Lala doesn't have to call Randall my man anymore because he's divorced now and she can finally say his name. It's not my man. It's Randall. Which we already knew, and I already knew because the two of them were on Flipping Out. Did you guys watch that? But I have to tell you, I'm gonna miss my man. All right, while these piercings are going on, they are pretty much trashing James. Lala was a very good friend to James, and apparently they were together somewhere with her man, Randall. And James said something like, oh, come on, we're all good friends. We know each other inside and out, if you know what I mean. And Lala that was like the last straw for her. So Katie goes, I feel like it's time's up for James. And Lala goes, ooh, I like that. Katie didn't come up with time's up, you know. Okay, next we have Lisa and Ken, and they are meeting Tom Sandoval and Tom Schwartz at Villa Blanca to have a TomTom meeting. So I think they're just about to open the restaurant. Okay, it seems like a little bit of the same stuff that's been going on with them. Tom Sandoval, at least, is going crazy with all his cocktail ideas, but he's not putting them down on paper, maybe. For Lisa, because she said, I needed that cocktail list. And so now she's got Pandora, her daughter, taking care of the cocktail list. Sandoval said, you know, I thought she was going to take care of the menu. We were going to take care of the cocktails. That's how it always was. And now suddenly she's got Pandora, who's never bartended a day in her life, taking over the cocktail list. I mean, it sounded to me like Lisa just wanted a list from them and she never got one. So that's why she had Pandora do it. Okay, the next scene is at the dog park. That's where Stassi was going with Brittany. So the two of them are there with all their little tiny adorable dogs. And God, Stassi is the worst. It's like this secret is just like burning inside of her. So Brittany says something very benign, like, so you guys met up with Jax last night. What'd you guys do? Here's Stassi. Headshots. Brittany, oh yeah, y'all got drunk, huh? And then she's like, yeah. And then Brittany said that Jax hoped that everybody could see that he has changed and, you know, that he's doing better. And Stassi has got this grin on her face that if Brittany were a little bit more perceptive, she would have totally known something was up. Like, I could not have looked at Stassi and not said, what? What are you smirking about? Thank God it's Brittany. Okay, so, oh God. Now Jax and the Toms are at the jewelry store picking up the ring that he picked out for Brittany. And this is the first time that Sandoval is finding out that he's going to propose the next day. So they sit down, the guy goes to get the ring, and Jax said, okay, I just want to warn you guys, it's a little bigger than you might expect. And in case you're wondering, like, how can he afford that? When his father died, he left money for Jax and his sister, and Jax used his money for this ring because to Jax, he said that every time he looks at the ring, he'll think of his dad. I mean, it's sweet. So Sandoval said to him, you know, I hope that this isn't coming just because, like, she was the one who was there when your father died. And Jax goes, oh, yeah, totally. That's why I'm doing this. That's how I knew she was the one, because she just took over, like, you know, I'm going to arrange the flights and I'm going to take care of getting flowers and this and that. And like, she totally took over, and he thought that, you know, this was somebody great because nobody had ever wanted to take care of him like that. So we're going back and forth between the dog park and the jewelry store. And at the dog park, Brittany was telling Stassi that it was about 3 months there where they were not together. And I guess Jax was in Florida and she went back to Kentucky and stuff, and then she said she was hanging out with her ex-boyfriend, and they hooked up. Ooh, and he's cute. His name is Aaron. Where Jax is meeting him, I don't know. They're like in a bar, but like, is it in Kentucky? Oh God, Brittany is this is why everybody loves her. She's just a sweet, lovable, simple girl. And she's like, I would never cheat on anybody, so I just hope it doesn't happen to me again. Aww. I hope it doesn't happen to you again either. Okay, the ring. We just got to see the ring. It's stunning. It's 3 carat. I think it's like a cushion cut. I'm not sure. And it's beautiful. The guy said it was worth 70 grand. I mean, Jax, come on, man. Please tell me you didn't spend that much. That seems ridiculous. Okay, so now we see Jax and Brittany all dressed up and getting ready to go out. They're going to Malibu. They're going out on a date to some restaurant in Malibu, and then they're going to come back. I don't know if he's proposing there. Yeah, I think he's going to propose there. And then they're coming back to maybe Katie and Schwartz's apartment, and they're all going to be there to yell surprise. But this is weird. So now we cut over to Katie and Tom's apartment, and Stassi and Kristen come over, and Kristen said, oh, listen to this. I was texting Brittany, and I'm like, what are you getting all glam for? And she said, date night. And she said, I don't know, somewhere. And she goes, no, Malibu. And Kristen goes, I will bet you guys that he's going to propose. I think he's going to propose tonight. And Stassi's on her phone like, and Katie goes, no. Oh, it was El Coyote. Okay, so Jax texted Kristen and told her to meet them at El Coyote, and she then said something to Brittany about it, and Brittany's like, no, we're going to Malibu. So she's like, Jax is lying to me, so that's why she thinks something's up. This is weird. Is it a surprise for all his friends? I mean, I know that the Toms know and Stassi knows, but it's weird to me that Tom Schwartz did not tell Katie. And then also, isn't it just weird? Why are the guests kept in the dark? Aren't they the ones that have to yell surprise? Okay, what the hell kind of a restaurant did Jax take her to? They are at this place called Neptune's Net, and it's beautiful because it is on the beach. But first of all, there's no bathrooms. It's porta potties, and it's one of those where you just like go up to the counter and you look at the menu board and pick something. It's like a fast food restaurant, right? I think I'm missing something. Okay, so back at the apartment, Katie and Kristen are still trying to figure this whole thing out. Is he going to propose or isn't he? And Katie goes, I don't think so. Because, I mean, it was just like a year ago, almost exactly, that we were all listening to a tape, oh God, of Jax telling Faith right after he had sex with her that he's not attracted to Brittany anymore and that he will never marry her. This is funny. Katie finally says, Stassi, do you want to weigh in on this? Because Stassi's not saying a word. And finally, and she's bursting. She can't take it anymore. And she goes, you guys, okay, I can't take it anymore. You're very intuitive. And Kristen is just ignoring her and going, all right, listen to this text. This is really weird. Kristen is like not listening to Stassi. She's reading like whatever text was going on. I don't know if it was between her and Jax or whatever. And finally Stassi goes, oh my God, just shut up. He's proposing to her right now. And finally Kristen looks up and goes, I knew it. And Katie goes, is that why you've been avoiding me all day? And she's like, yes. Okay, Jax is super nervous at the restaurant. Why are they at that restaurant? Maybe it has sentimental value for them. Maybe that's it. Anyway, Jax is like a nervous wreck. He forgot his wallet on the table, and then because he had to go up and pay for the food. And meanwhile, Brittany is like, over at the thing pumping cocktail sauce and ketchup and getting napkins and Jack says to the confession cam, I'm about to ask my dream girl to be my wife, and this would be the absolute most perfect moment if I didn't have that ring box jamming me in the balls. I forgot to tell you guys earlier, the ring box is very big and bulky, and it wouldn't fit in any of his pockets of his pants without it being obvious. So he had to stick it down in the front. Okay, this was a pretty bad proposal. I'm sorry. I think because Jax was so nervous. I mean, and that was kind of cute, but he kept saying, like, when are you going to call my number? When are you going to call the number? Like 5 minutes, 10 minutes, you have to tell me. And they go, okay, 5 minutes. So they finally call his number 63, and Brittany's like, I think that's us. And he's like, oh, wait, what? So for some reason, he wanted to go to this other window, other than the window that they were bringing the food out of. I don't know why. So he goes, I left something over here. It was very awkward and weird. And he goes over to the other window and he goes, give me a tray. Give me just any tray. Just give me a tray. So he puts the ring box on the tray. Then he carries the tray out with it on the tray. And he's got this smirk on his face. And Brittany kind of looks at him. Then he takes it off the tray and is just holding the ring box. I don't know. It was a little all over the place and a little bit of a mess, but Brittany had the sweetest reaction. I mean, she was really crying. And she said, yes, of course, we know that. But her reaction was very, very sweet. And that is where this episode ends, you guys. We see previews for the whole season, and, it looks pretty drama-filled. I'm not going to lie. Boy, I think we've got old Kristen back. Crazy Kristen, because she is on a mission to ruin James's life. And I think poor little Raquel is going to get caught in the crossfire of that. All right, thank you guys for joining me. This was fun. And if you haven't already, please consider subscribing to Jill Informed. Please give this video a thumbs up if you liked it. And don't forget to leave a comment down below. I love to hear from you guys. All right, I hope I will see you next Monday at 1 p.m. Central Time for the next recap of Vanderpump Rules. Bye-bye.